Hello and welcome to LifeLens TV. I'm Jennifer Harrison, bringing you another in-depth analysis on a topic that has had people across Africa, and indeed the world, buzzing with speculation. Today we turn our focus to Cameroon and the rumours surrounding its longtime president Paul Biya. Now President Paul Biya is a name that's almost synonymous with Cameroon. For over 40 years, Biya has held the reins of power, making him one of the longest-serving leaders in the world. At 91 years old, many have been wondering, what will happen next in Cameroon's political landscape? Recently, however, the rumours surrounding Biya's health have taken over the conversation, raising concerns about what his absence might mean for the country's future. To provide some context, Biya was last seen in early September, attending the China-Africa Forum in Beijing. Since then, there's been silence, and silence in the world of politics, as we know, often sparks speculation. Fast forward to last weekend, when President Biya failed to attend a high-profile summit in France. That absence poured fuel on the fire of rumours that had already begun to circulate. Is President Biya in good health? Is he even still alive? Speculation has swept through social media, conventional news outlets, and even the streets of Cameroon cities. Let's face it, these rumours are not entirely without foundation. After all, at 91, it's understandable why people would have concerns. Cameroon, a nation that's seen just 2 presidents since gaining independence in the 1960s, has grown accustomed to the stability, or at least the continuity that Biya has provided. But with the president seemingly out of sight, uncertainty has begun to grip not just Cameroonians, but also political observers across West and Central Africa. The stakes couldn't be higher. Cameroon, as many of you know, is dealing with serious internal challenges. The country is in the midst of a brutal secessionist war that has claimed thousands of lives. On top of that, the Boko Haram insurgency in the north continues to plague the region. Stability is fragile at best, and the thought of a sudden leadership vacuum is enough to send shivers down the spine of any Cameroonian. Opposition parties and civil society groups in Cameroon have been demanding answers. They're asking for transparency. Where is the president? Why haven't there been any official updates on his condition or whereabouts? These are the kinds of questions that, in a healthy democracy, would be addressed head-on by the government. Instead, what we've seen so far is silence, and we all know how dangerous silence can be in times of political uncertainty. And let's not forget, Cameroon is not an isolated case when it comes to uncertainty at the top. West and Central Africa have been through significant turmoil in recent years. Since 2020 alone, the region has seen 8 coups and multiple attempts to overthrow governments. So, naturally, the political elite and citizens alike are watching closely, wondering if Cameroon could be the next in line for a sudden upheaval. Now, think about this for a moment. Here is a country that produces cocoa and oil, vital resources for both its economy and the global market. Imagine the chaos that would ensue if Cameroon, already fighting 2 internal wars, were to suddenly lose its long-standing leader without any clear plan for succession. We could be looking at a scenario that triggers even more instability in a region that's already grappling with so much. But before we jump to conclusions, let's look at what the Cameroonian government had to say when these rumours reached fever pitch. According to government spokesperson René Sadi, and I quote, 8th of October 2024, Ministry of Communication, Ministère de la Communication, Government Communiqué. For several days now, rumours of all kinds have been circulating through conventional and social media on the state of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Paul Biya. Television channels in search of a degree of public recognition have been echoing these rumours with peremptory announcements, accompanied by comments that are all equally tendentious, without any reference to the realities on the ground. The government of the Republic unequivocally affirms that these rumours are pure fantasy and imagination on the part of their authors, and hereby wishes to formally debunk such rumours. The government wishes to make it known that the day after the China-Africa summit, in which he took an active part, the head of state granted himself a brief private stay in Europe. However, he remains, as usual, and wherever he may be, attentive to the development of national life. Consequently, the government of the Republic invites Cameroonians, as well as our partners and friendly countries, not to allow themselves to be distracted by manoeuvres of disinformation, manipulation and destabilization orchestrated by small groups and pernicious individuals for their own hidden ends. Moreover, the head of state is in good health and will be returning to Cameroon in the next few days. The Minister of Communication government spokesperson, René Emmanuel Sadi. So there you have it. The government insists that President Paul Biya is in good health and that we can expect his return to Cameroon soon. But even with this reassurance, it's clear that the rumours have struck a nerve, both within Cameroon and beyond. The absence of transparency for such a long period has given rise to an air of uncertainty that isn't easily dispelled with just one government statement. Let's address the elephant in the room: Biya's age. At 91, it's no secret that his ability to govern is in question. It's been reported for years now that Biya has not been involved in the day-to-day operations of government, relying heavily on a small circle of advisors and loyalists to keep things running. And while his administration has denied any issues with his health, the fact remains that many in Cameroon, and indeed across Africa, are wondering, what will happen next? There's no clear succession plan, and that's one of the biggest concerns. Who will take over when Paul Biya finally steps down, or if, God forbid, something happens to him while he's still in office? This is a critical question, because the wrong kind of transition could push Cameroon into a spiral of political instability. Remember, this is a country already struggling with internal divisions and external threats. The leadership vacuum, if not managed properly, could have far-reaching consequences not just for Cameroon but for the entire region. And it's not just Cameroonians who are worried. I spoke to a non-Cameroonian African minister who attended the recent summit in Paris, and they said something that really struck me. They said, "No one has prepared for the aftermath. We don't know what Cameroon will be like without Paul Biya." That kind of uncertainty from regional leaders tells us a lot about the precarious position Cameroon is in right now. But let me ask you, the viewers, what does this all mean for the future of leadership in Africa? Do we need more transparency from our leaders, especially those who have held power for decades? Should there be clear succession plans in place to avoid the kind of uncertainty we're seeing in Cameroon today? These are questions that we need to address, not just in Cameroon, but across the continent. With the right structures in place, the end of one leader's reign doesn't have to mean chaos. But right now, for Cameroon, that preparation doesn't seem to be in place. And that, my friends, is what makes this situation so delicate. That's all for today's segment, but rest assured, we'll continue to follow this story closely and bring you updates as they come. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think is next for Cameroon? How should leaders across the continent prepare for transitions of power? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. I'm Jennifer Harrison, signing off from LifeLens TV. Stay informed, stay engaged, and remember, the power to shape our future is in our hands. On behalf of my director, Peter Tosh Williams, and the entire LifeLens TV family, goodbye for now, and we'll see you in the next one, inshallah. This is LifeLens TV.